Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to my channel. This is video number 2 of our eBay selling series. And today I wanted to go into a little bit more detail about some of the things that I mentioned in my first video. Before we get into that, I thought it would be a good idea if I showed you two of my certificates from eBay. This first one is my eBay top rated seller, and the other one is my uh, power seller, the certificate. So I do have a little bit of credibility with eBay. Okay, so let's get right into this now. At the end of video 1, I shared 3 things with you that I thought were very, very important in your eBay selling. The first one was to sell things that you already own, things that were in your home, like clothing, shoes, appliances, whatever it is that you're not using that you can make money with, sell that first. And that way you're not putting money out in the very beginning. Um, as I mentioned, when I started, I lacked funds, so I had to think of some innovative ways to make this work. And so my mom thought this was really, really hilarious, but I would go to Dollar Tree and I would go in there and I would look for things that were brand name. And what I mean by that is not made by Dollar Tree, but for instance, one example, one of the things I would purchase, and I would purchase many, many things, the office supplies, gourmet foods, as long as they were had at least 6 months left on it before they expired, um, and beauty products, all sorts of things. But one particular item that I would buy, and this was funny to my mother, were night lights. And Dollar Tree carried Disney night lights. And when I say brand name, in other words, when you turn the package over on the back, it said Disney.com, not Greenbrier, where um, Dollar Tree is manufactured, or where they manufacture their things. And so that way I could go on Disney.com, look up these night lights, get a description and a price point to sell the item. And they were going for like, I was paying $1. They were going for anywhere 19.99 up to 24.99 for these Disney night lights, all the Disney characters. Um, and things like that is what I would look for in Dollar Tree. I remember one time I was in there and they had a bin full of where they keep the children's toys. They had a bin full of pillow pets. And if you don't know what a pillow pet is, I do have a couple here to show you. Now, when I bought them, I bought almost every one they had. I think it was like 25 of them, and I sold all of them except two. But the guy that was working there wanted to know if I had emptied the bin out because he wanted a couple for his little girl. So I had left a couple back there. He was able to get two for her and put them away. But this is a pillow pet. Now, this particular one is a butterfly. And you can see how nice and plush and fluffy these are. I paid $1 for these. And when you flip it over on the bottom, it has a little Velcro. You open it up, and that opens up your pillow. So this is great. Your kid can nap on it. They can take it when you're traveling. If you're on an airplane, they have their pet and their pillow all in one. I think I have another one here. This one is a parrot. See that? Very colorful. Take the Velcro loose, and there you go. Okay. Now, this is not to say that um, while you're trying to limit spending money, that you shouldn't also go to estate sales, thrift shops, garage sales, any place that you can get a bargain, because you'd be surprised what you can find for very little money. And I'm going to give you an example of what happened to me one day. I went into a thrift store and I was rummaging through the men's sport coats, because even though I started out with women and children's clothing, I found out that men's clothing could be very lucrative. And so I was going through the sport coats and I found a black satin, what we call a smoking jacket, or whatever jacket, and it was from Saks Fifth Avenue. It still had the tag on it, and I paid $5 for that jacket. I took it home, put it online. In a couple of days, it sold. I sold it for $100. And it was so nice because the lady who bought the smoking jacket had purchased it as a gift for her dad. And she was so excited when she got it. She messaged me back and told me how happy she was about the purchase. And those are the kind of things that make eBay fun for me. So $5 into $100, not bad. At the same time, when I was in there, I bought a men's blazer by Hart, Schaffner and Marks, and it was pre-owned. But if you look up the brand, you can see that their sport coats up to their suits are anywhere from $200 to $699, somewhere in that price range. And so I bought the jacket. I paid $4 for it, and I listed it. It took about a week, but it sold for $49.99. Now this is the funny part. When I was going to list the jacket, I flipped the breast pocket open, because that's where your label is that shows what size the jacket is. And you want to always make sure you put all your details in your description, in those item specifics. And so as I reached in the breast pocket to pull the label out for the sizing, lo and behold, there was a $10 bill in the pocket. So basically my shopping trip was free. And no, I did not take the $10 back to the thrift store. So, okay, so just to reiterate, once you do those things, empty out your closet, your house, make very minimal purchases, don't put a lot of money out in the beginning, and then as you build your capital, you can start purchasing other items to sell. So ask yourself, are you a picker? Now, you may not be familiar with that term, but the definition of a picker is a person who rises early, or it could be later, and goes to garage sales, estate sales, thrift shops in order to get the best deals for resale, either in an antique mall or booth or on eBay. So now that you know what it is, ask yourself the question, can you do it? Because that's what it takes. And it is so much fun. Now, if you're not a shopper, it may not work for you. But if you are a shopper, you're going to do fantastic. Now, the second thing I mentioned in the first video was not to be